Have you ever been gripped by a chilling foreboding, as if your world has suddenly turned bleak and unfathomable? Imagine the profound devastation of a community torn asunder by an act so incomprehensible that it shatters the very fabric of trust and safety. Picture the heart-wrenching anguish of a parent faced with an unfathomable choice, where the unimaginable becomes a harrowing reality. Now, consider the haunting words whispered in despair, echoing through the corridors of tragedy. If I can't have them, neither can you. These words, laden with sorrow and desperation, are a haunting prelude to a tale of incomprehensible loss and profound grief. Welcome to an exploration through a story that defies explanation, going into the depths of human suffering and perseverance. In this video, we'll look at the terrible case of Jason Corrales, a man whose acts shocked the peaceful suburbs of Chicago and sent shockwaves through the public mind. The sad events that occurred in Round Lake Beach on June 13, 2022 are a clear reminder of the devastating effects of domestic abuse on families and communities. Beyond the immediate grief caused by such heinous crimes, broader cultural causes and legal systems are brought into stark relief, spurring consideration of the challenges of avoiding and responding to such disasters. The case of Jason Corrales, who pled guilty to drowning his three young children, Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon, throws light on the interplay of mental health, family relations, and the judicial system in situations of extreme violence at home. Psychological investigations of the motivations for such heinous crimes indicate a complicated interaction of circumstances, from underlying mental health difficulties to unsolved disputes within familial connections. The human psyche may be a perplexing terrain of emotional turbulence and suffering. In situations of domestic violence, the perpetrator's feelings of impotence, fury, and perceived loss of control can appear as acts of severe violence, with devastating repercussions for innocent victims caught in the middle. Understanding the psychological basis of such behavior is critical for establishing effective preventative and intervention techniques to reduce the likelihood of such tragedies in the future. June 13, 2022 began like any other day in the serene suburban neighborhood of Round Lake Beach, where the morning sun painted the streets with its gentle rays, casting a tranquil facade over the community. Families embarked on their daily routines, unaware of the impending tragedy that would soon disrupt their lives. Among them was Jason Corrales, a 36-year-old father whose seemingly ordinary existence would soon be marred by an unfathomable darkness. Little did the community realize that behind the veil of normalcy lay a turbulent storm of anguish and despair that would forever alter their sense of security. The day unfolded with deceptive calmness, marked by a sequence of events that would irrevocably alter the fabric of Round Lake Beach. It began with a routine welfare check prompted by the concerns of Debbie Corrales, Jason's estranged wife and the mother of their three young children, Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon. As the sun climbed to its zenith, police officers responded to the Corrales' residence on the 200 block of Camden Lane, unaware of the harrowing scene that awaited them. What they encountered within those walls would scar into their memories, a tableau of horror so profound that words could scarcely convey its gravity. Three innocent souls, Bryant, aged 5, Cassidy, aged 3, and Gideon, aged 2, lay lifeless in a bathtub, their once vibrant spirits extinguished by an incomprehensible act of violence. Amidst the chilling silence of the crime scene, a note emerged, hastily scrawled yet pregnant with ominous intent. Addressed to Debbie Corrales, the message bore a chilling declaration: "If I can't have them, neither can you." Those haunting words, etched in a swirl of anguish and desperation, served as a stark premonition of the unspeakable horrors that had transpired within the confines of that suburban home. In the aftermath of the heart-wrenching discovery, the community grappled with the unfathomable nature of the crime that had shattered their once idyllic existence. The tranquility of childhood had been violently snatched away, leaving behind a void of incomprehensible grief and sorrow that seemed to engulf the entire neighborhood. How could a seemingly ordinary day unravel into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions, leaving behind a trail of devastation? What dark forces compel a person to penetrate the ultimate betrayal, extinguishing the lives they were once sworn to protect and nurture? In the aftermath of the harrowing discovery, the wheels of justice were set in motion, albeit against a backdrop of profound grief and disbelief. Jason Corrales, the man at the center of this tragedy, found himself thrust into the unforgiving glare of the legal system. Charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, Corrales stood as a symbol of the incomprehensible darkness that lurked within the human psyche. As the legal proceedings unfolded, a complex tapestry of emotions and legal intricacies emerged. In a courtroom suffused with palpable tension, Carell's, a man haunted by the demons of his own making, entered a plea that seemed to straddle the line between guilt and mental instability. The words, guilty but mentally ill, hung heavy in the air, a somber acknowledgement of a mind fractured by the weight of its actions. Carell's plea carried weighty implications in the eyes of the law, invoking a legal framework that sought to navigate the treacherous terrain of mental health and criminal culpability. In Illinois, a plea of guilty but mentally ill operates similarly to a conventional guilty plea, yet incorporates a mechanism for defendants to access mental health treatment while incarcerated, a recognition of the complexities inherent in cases where mental illness intersects with the commission of a crime. As the gavel fell and the sentence was pronounced, Carell's faced a fate befitting the magnitude of his crimes, a life sentence in the Illinois Department of Corrections, a stark testament to the irreversible consequences of his actions. Yet, even as the legal machinery churned inexorably forward, the haunting specter of unanswered questions lingered, questions that spoke to the unfathomable depths of human despair and the elusive quest for understanding in the face of incomprehensible tragedy. How do we reconcile the complexities of mental illness with the imperatives of justice? Can a legal system designed to mete out punishment also accommodate the nuances of mental health? In the wake of the unfathomable tragedy that befell Round Lake Beach on June 13, 2022, the repercussions rippled through the tight-knit community and reverberated far beyond its borders. The aftermath of Jason Carell's heinous actions left an indelible mark on the fabric of the neighborhood, plunging its residents into a state of profound grief and disbelief. Lake County State's Attorney Eric Reinhardt, recognizing the profound impact of the crime on the community, offered words of solace and hoped that the legal resolution would provide some semblance of closure to the grieving family left behind. However, closure proved elusive as the community grappled with the incomprehensible loss of 3 innocent lives. The scars of the tragedy remained etched in the collective consciousness, a constant reminder of the senseless violence that shattered their sense of security. Despite the passage of time, the wounds inflicted by such a profound loss lingered, leaving residents grappling with the complexities of grief and the relentless pursuit of understanding in the face of inexplicable tragedy. During their grief, the community performed a delicate dance, balancing the memory of the victims with the violent waves of sadness that threatened to swallow them. Candlelight vigils filled the night sky as locals came to honor Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon, their flickering lights serving as a poignant reminder of hope during darkness. Solemn remembrances resonated through the streets as neighbors banded together in solidarity, refusing to let despair extinguish the ray of hope in their hearts. Regardless of the immeasurable pain that swept through the Round Lake Beach community following the tragic events of June 13, 2022, the memories of the innocent children, Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon, remained steadfast, serving as a poignant reminder of the enduring power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. In the quiet moments of contemplation that followed, under the solemn mood of sadness and loss, locals sought consolation in the precious memories they had with the young victims. Bryant's contagious laughter, Cassidy's joyful personality, and Gideon's innocent curiosity were more than just memories to be grieved. They were beacons of light that brightened the darkness and guided the community through its darkest hours. Their legacy inspired residents to come together and embrace compassion and kindness as they navigated the profound adversity that gripped their collective conscience. In honoring the memory of Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon, the community found strength in unity, drawing upon the enduring bonds of love and the innate resilience of the human spirit to confront the challenges ahead. As Round Lake Beach embarked on the arduous journey of healing and rebuilding, the community drew strength from the enduring bonds forged in the crucible of tragedy. Through acts of compassion and solidarity, neighbors leaned on each other for support, finding comfort in the shared experience of grief and the unwavering resolve to honor those lost memories. In the face of overwhelming darkness, the resilience of the human spirit shone through, illuminating the path forward with the promise of hope and the enduring power of community. How do communities navigate the complexities of grief and collective healing in the aftermath of unspeakable tragedy? In the face of darkness, how do we find the resilience to forge ahead and honor the memory of those we've lost? Follow us in the next video of this adventure as we delve further into the nuances of Jason Carell's horrific fall, a dive defined by enormous anguish and unspeakable loss. Through the perspective of this horrible event, please participate in empathy, contemplation, and a shared commitment to understanding the subtleties of the human experience. As we examine the murky waters of loss and resilience, may we find solace in our shared ties and the enduring power of optimism in the face of despair. Maya Angelou once said, "We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated." Let us commemorate Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon by practicing compassion and understanding, even in difficult circumstances. In the face of such heartbreaking reality, it's our responsibility as people and as a community to take proactive measures to prevent child abuse and support the well-being of vulnerable children. One specific approach to making a difference is actively supporting child welfare projects and organizations providing resources, assistance, and advocacy to at-risk children and families. We may campaign for local, state, and national policy changes to prioritize children's safety and well-being. This might include supporting legislation to enhance child welfare systems, expanding access to mental health treatments for crisis-affected families, and putting in place preventive measures to detect and address risk factors for child abuse. We can work together to create a safer and more nurturing environment for all children by engaging with policymakers, raising awareness in our communities, and contributing to the demand for change. Finally, let's put our empathy into action, ensuring that the sad deaths of Bryant, Cassidy, Gideon, and countless other innocent victims of domestic violence catalyze significant change. Together, we can build a future where every kid is respected, protected, and allowed to flourish. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Smash the bell icon to stay updated. Thanks for watching.